Monday went down with a laugh on the air. Networking, collabing, good vibes everywhere. From manic to magic, we're turning it round. Grab your drink, let's wind it on.
Resellers unite, share wins and some fun. Recharge your week, the best has begun.
Vintage finds and stories to share.
Two old guys and friends who care.
Monday went down, come join the crew. Relax, connect, discover something new. From manic to magic, the best show in town. It's Monday night, let's wind it down.
First in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana.
I got my coffee, I got my dollars, and I'm looking for deals. Am I at the right place?
I say, here at Cajun Roots Reseller, you give me an offer and I'll take it.
Bless you, my child. Let me introduce myself. I'm Sister Mary Agnes. You may have heard about me from my friend Cajun Roots reseller, Johnny. I met Johnny many years ago when he was purchasing furniture from Frankie and Johnny's in Louisiana. They were not going to give him credit, and I vouched for him. I said, let him have it with no problem. He's got the dollars. See the special man.
Let him have it with no
You got
problem.
the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all. Let him have it with no problem. See the special man.
Hello, I'm Johnny's Dough Girl. I'm here to say subscribe, hit the bell, not my belly button, and share out his shows. Always give him a thumbs up. You can even become a member. Buy him a coffee and follow his other channels like the cooking shows, my favorites, his fur babies, and more. Leave a comment. And when you watch a video, you're showing him your support.
Hi, I was looking for some jewelry. I'm going to be getting married soon. No, I don't have any credit.
Well, here at Cajun Roots Reseller, if you own a fixed income, even if it's on a sale in the Cajun Roots Reseller eBay store, guess what? Send an offer. We'll let you have it with no problem.
Johnny has many auctions, chat shows, in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, and all are welcome. But there's no drama or negativity tolerated on any of his channels. Now go, child, with my blessings. Watch Cajun Roots Reseller. Love always. Be kind to one another, and have a blessed day.
First in the mornings, originally from the Bayou State of Louisiana. Here at Cajun Roots Reseller, you make me an offer and I'll take it. You got the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
See the special man.
You got the dollars, make me an offer. New England Cajun roots, Johnny understands.
Johnny understands.
Let him have it with no problem, see the special man. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
Hello, good afternoon, and welcome on the Monday Wind
Hello,
Down.
everyone.
How's everybody doing? We have our special guest, Popeye John, from his YouTube channel, and we're going to be talking about postcards today. Let's see who's in the chat. First is Heather. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome, and how are you doing? And good afternoon, and
Hey,
welcome.
Heather.
Michael, hello, good afternoon, and welcome, and how are you doing?
Hey,
Good to
hon.
see you. Welcome. And Danielle, hello, good afternoon, and welcome, and how are you
Danielle.
doing? Welcome. Carol, hello, good afternoon, and welcome, and how are you doing? Good
Hey,
to
boo.
welcome. Jennifer, great video, by the way. I watched it after the morning show this morning on that jewelry lot. That was pretty cool. And good afternoon and welcome. Thank you for being here. And Deborah, hello, good afternoon and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to
sweetheart.
see you. Welcome. And there's Regina. Hello, good afternoon and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you.
Regina.
Welcome. And if y'all haven't checked out John's channel, there's Popeye's Postcards. There's his link to his YouTube channel. Lately, he's been doing a live uploaded video almost every day. So check it out and check out what he's selling and going over some of the postcards that he's been selling. Yeah, check it out.
I am subscribed.
Yeah, I am too. I've been subscribed. Yeah.
Well, apparently I have been too.
Cool. Becky, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Good to see you. Welcome. Chrissy and Stacy, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. And how are you doing? Both of y'all, thank you for being here. Good afternoon. Ain't Boo, hello, good afternoon, and welcome. As usual, she's in the line listening in the
Hey,
car,
honey.
picking up the children. Yeah, welcome. Let's see. Everybody's chit-chatting to each other back and forth for a long time. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Moon Chaser, hello, good afternoon,
Hey,
and welcome. And how
sweetheart.
are you doing? Good to see you and welcome. And if you haven't checked out John's Popeye's Postcards eBay store, I'm gonna give you a few little stats. I've been watching several people with postcards for a while now because I was thinking about getting into it and picking up some lots here and there. This is what he's got so far. On his eBay store, he has currently 44,833 listings.
Oh, my God.
He has sold 67,000 items in his eBay store. If you
Wow.
have not checked out his eBay store, there it is, going in the chat at this time. Ella, 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 Ella. I gotta ask you a question. A little birdie told us in the morning show that you're going to be doing a live cooking Thanksgiving dinner at your new place.
Is this out
Now,
of the microwave, honey?
say it's
I
not
said it,
so.
Johnny. I said it.
I know because I was getting ready to. There's Popeye's eBay store, by the way, if you haven't checked it out. And Kraken's Finds. Hello, I'm so used to saying Kraken Christine. Hello, good afternoon, and welcome,
Yep.
Christine. Christine, yeah. Before we get started, if you have any questions having to do with postcards or ephemera, before we get started, though, I'm gonna let John go ahead and tell you a little bit about himself, how he got started in this postcard adventure, and tell you a little bit about yourself, John.
Oh, John. Carol says, hey, John, anyone ever told you bald men are so sexy? Beware.
Unmute, John.
Bald fat men, very sexy. Thank you.
Good answer.
We all got the facial hair
Something going on
going.
our faces, right? Go ahead and tell everybody about yourself and how you got started and all that great information.
Hi, John, Popeye's Postcards. I started on eBay. I opened my eBay account in January of '98. So I'm coming up on 28 years on eBay. I first started, Popeye, going back a little bit, I was in the Navy, then got out and went to college, and then they got the name Popeye in the fraternity. So after college, I was like, I need to do something. I got into collecting Popeye things because I got the nickname. And so I get the figures and the puzzles and everything Popeye related, the old tin wind-up toys. So I joined eBay to buy Popeye items. And that was back when you didn't even have to have pictures on your listings. You could just have a good description. And then my then girlfriend, now wife, came down to live with me. And I had a 2-bedroom apartment. One was just all Popeye stuff that I'd collected over the years. And I figured well, it's time to grow up. So I started selling my Popeye items on eBay. And after all that stuff sold for a lot more than what I paid for it, I was like, okay, what else can I sell? So I was going around the apartment and just selling stuff. And then I started going to auctions. And this was like about the summer of 98. I bought and sold everything except postcards. Glassware, I became pretty much an expert overnight on glassware and pottery, trinkets and clothing. I'd sold it all. And one time I bought a box lot, and in the bottom was just a stack of postcards, 40 or 50. Didn't know anything about them. And it was back when you could only do auctions. So I listed each one of them for $1.99, and they all sold with multiple bids. And they only went for $7 to $10 each. But after the packing and the shipping was it was almost joyful. I didn't have to use bubble wrap. Nothing broke. And so in the late summer, early fall, I just started concentrating on postcards. And so, yeah, it's been 27 years of selling postcards. Like I said, I started out knowing nothing. And just over those years, I've been able to just build up my knowledge of postcards. And I started a YouTube channel probably 8 to 10 years ago. I started my first YouTube channel. And after, I don't know, 4 years, 3-4 years, I nuked. I just went nuclear and just deleted the whole thing, disappeared for a year or so, and then brought back the current channel. And I'll disappear for a year or so. I guess I get kind of bored with YouTube, but right now it's I do a daily as I'm pulling my orders, and I just ramble. I'll talk about postcards. I'll talk about reseller stuff. So that's about me. I've sold at in-person postcard shows, and I was just and I used to vend in a antique mall, and I was just at the York Postcard Show, which is the largest postcard show in the United States, possibly the world. There were 75 postcard dealers with millions and millions of postcards. And what I do is I go and buy the cards that, just based on my experience, I know that they sell or will sell. So I may buy a postcard for $1 and flip it for 200. So that's what I do.
All right, you have your first question on the screen. Carol would like to know, ever stationed at Quonset?
No, unless that was for you. I was on the USS Midway for 3 years and boot camp in Florida. But after that, that's not Quonset Hut, is it? I don't know. I'm not sure where that is.
I'm not sure where that's at. I haven't. There's his latest video. If you haven't checked it out, I've been watching a lot of his videos, and there's a lot of great information in those videos.
Yeah,
Definitely check it out.
It's mostly ramblings. This morning I'm dealing with
it's set in Rhode Island.
Oh, okay. No, I've not been stationed there. This
I was
morning,
stationed in Florida, and so were you, weren't you?
yeah, for just the boot camp, and then Yokosuka, Japan, is where my ship was out of. So
one thing I went to Rhode Island for was legal school.
Okay.
Providence.
Oh, yeah, maybe she's talking to you.
Yeah, Providence, Rhode Island is where I went. So I have a first question to get just started. And if you have any questions, please make sure to ask in the chat. As Kara was saying, that she made a statement that that's a lot of postcards in the back of you right there. Well, my first question has to do with that. As much as you deal with, how do you keep all of that organized in those boxes? And how do you know what box to go to when you're selling those postcards?
Great question. Inventory management is key. So what you kind of see right here, that is, I have 44 some thousand individual listings, and that about 40,000 are on these 10 shelves. And then I don't know if you can see right here, and then right kind of over my other head over here,
Right.
a couple years ago, I bought 1 million airplane postcards, and that's a little series on my channel, me flying out to Minneapolis and picking those up and then driving them back. So what you can't see are the like 2 more shelving units that way, and then I have 3 more going down the wall, and it's about 500 to 600,000 airplane postcards, and I have probably another 400,000 to get to list yet. But
This is why I'm laughing at Carol right now. And look, I'm only gonna highlight the comment so you can read it.
hmm.
So
Anywho,
I see you have letters on them. Are
yeah.
you categorizing them by a specific category? Or are you labeling them by states, or how you're doing that?
When I first started, I have boxes, old boxes across the top. I mean, I can show. So this was South Carolina, no, North Carolina to South Dakota, and I used to have, it's state and then city, and you can see kind of like what a mess that is. And I was having a bad habit of filing New Hampshire with like Vermont, something like that. So I don't know, probably 10 years ago, I went to a box letter tab number. And about each tab has about 50 cards. And so at the end of my eBay title, I'll work on a list of postcards. Maybe maybe 50 of those cards in S1 are California, San Francisco, or wherever. But also maybe in like S2, it's California, and then maybe Delaware and Florida. So it's just I put the inventory, the box letter tab number at the end of my title of all my listings, so I know when someone buys something, I can just go to the box, pull out all the postcards under S1, and find that postcard. If you watch my morning video, that's all I'm doing in my morning videos. I don't have to get up. I just sit here and I pull a box and pull the cards from behind the tab.
I was wondering because I watched a lot of your videos, and I was always wondering, how did you pull them so fast? But then when I went to your eBay store, and you just said it, that explained why almost every one of them that I see on your listings has a letter and a number behind each of your listings. Now I know why.
Yeah,
Couldn't figure that out. Now
yeah, that's why.
And I use the custom
SKU.
SKU.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I use.
There's people in the postcard world that do the SKU, numbered 1 through, well, for me it'd be 44,000. But if a whole bunch of cards sell in one box that has, I don't know, number 20,000 to 20,500, if a lot of those sell, I'd have to move all the other numbers into that box or reuse the same numbers. For what I do is I just keep going up to R94, R95.
Okay.
So I don't have to.
I understand that, John. But see, post that looks amazing for
Yeah.
postcards.
It's
You're
pretty simple.
doing small stuff where I'm doing glass. This is the
Yeah.
breakable stuff.
Oh yeah. Ugh.
Arnold Tom says he is here. Hello, John. And welcome, by the way.
Yeah, I did that too. I've shipped. I know it says I've sold 67,000. I think I've sold more than that over the last 27 years. My return rate is like 0.0001 or something like that. Really small return rate with postcards, and that's just return as for someone didn't like it. Damaged might get 1 out of 10,000, 1 out of 7,500. It's very rare, and sometimes these little envelopes they'll get caught in the postal services machines, and it'll just rip it all to heck.
Yep.
And
real quick, Jennifer dropped his Whatnot link. If you want to check that out, and if you haven't done it before, there's his link for that.
thank you.
Back to the envelope you had in your hand. Do you get those off of eBay, or is that something that you just buy?
Off of eBay. These they're called EcoSwift, EcoSwift. Years ago, before I started talking about them. They used to be 7 cents each, and I buy them by the 10,000s. Now I think they're like 11 or 12 cents, but it's a 6.5 by 4.5. Think thickness of the wall of a cereal box, and sandwich 2 of those. So it's
Right.
pretty pliable. And then what I do is I have my I had this commissioned for me, a terrific Halloween artist.
Oh,
I had him
cool.
do this for me, Popeye getting served up as a stew.
Oh, yes, indeed.
And it's a little thicker, so I put that in here, and then a postcard in a sleeve, and it's just it gives it a little bit more rigidity. And then
That's
I
pretty cool.
I show everybody my links and where I can be found.
That is different. I like that. Yes, you can put anything you need or want because only you will see the SKU
Yeah.
online if you use your SKU.
Yeah, and for
I
me, when
noticed
I
you had those in your eBay listing, but I wasn't sure what. And I had an idea that may be what it is after
Mhm.
watching a lot of your videos.
Yeah, and I just put it's just for ease of me for me. My eyes are getting better or worse, so sometimes I have to blow up the picture of what the card is.
Mhm.
But normally I could just pull just a little thumbnail on the seller's hub, and then my box letter tab number. I can usually find the card pretty quick. The only time that's an issue is for box X.
Mhm.
I've had people say, I was supposed to get 2 of this card, or I was supposed to get 3 of this card, or I was supposed to get X26. So they thought they were going to get 26 copies of the card. And
Oh, wow.
I had to put in the listing that, just to be clear, it's my inventory location. You're not going to get 27 of this card.
Yeah.
So I've had problems like that before.
Yeah, a lot of people don't read the description either.
No.
Halloween, yes.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Halloween's good. I don't have any. I think I sold all my Halloween. Isn't
I'm
I
not
know exactly
surprised.
what tab my Halloween is. No, I just sold all my Halloween.
Yeah, it's her weakness, her kryptonite. So my next question, because I have watched some of your videos where you had spoken in reference to this next question.
Okay.
Have you ever had the opportunity when going to any type of card show or postcard shows, and somebody offers you to buy their whole inventory?
Yeah.
Has it ever happened, and how do you determine what you're going to pay for that inventory when you do?
Yes, it does happen. I went to the Allentown paper show, and if anybody who likes postcards or paper ephemera, uh, the show I think you need to go to is the Allentown Paper Show, Allentown, Pennsylvania, twice a year, spring and fall. I was just there beginning of October, I think it was, and went to a postcard dealer who I've bought bulk from before. And at the end of the show, I was like, Aaron, you want to sell any of your boxes? And he's like, yeah, I want to sell all these boxes. And we agreed on a price of $40 a box, which was pretty darn cheap. And so I bought 22 boxes from him this past weekend at York, Pennsylvania. I went to a couple dealers at the end of the show. He's like, anything you don't want to take home, I'll pay $50 a box for whatever you don't want to take home. And a box, this is a standard postcard box, and it's stuffed full where you can't get your fingers in it. You can jam about 900 to 1,000 cards in here,
Wow.
unsleeved. But if you use the little thin penny sleeves, which most cards at a show are going to have penny sleeves on them, you can get about 700 to 800 in here. And so just knowing that like a pound of postcards is going to be about that thick, and there's going to be anywhere between 90 to 140 postcards in that. It's like I think 13 inches long. So I just know that it's going to be about 800 cards, and I just kind of do postcard math in my head or a calculator. It's like, if there's 800 cards in each box, and I bought like 6 boxes from the one person, uh, I offer somewhere between 40 to could be 150. I've paid $200 a box before. I've paid $800 a box. Just depends on what kind of cards are in there.
Okay, we're going to go to this statement real quick. Stacey May says, and hello, good afternoon, and welcome, Stacey May. Could you use the Greek word for X, which is cha? C-H-I.
I guess you could, but I like the simplicity of the alphabet and the title. It's at a premium. Sometimes I'm using 4 or 5 characters for my inventory, and you should always jam your title with keywords and not inventory. But it just works for me. That's how I do things, and I know everybody has a different way of doing stuff.
Anyone who's got a lot of postcards, how do they find and where do they get these boxes to keep them in, as far as even like in your situation, your inventory?
These boxes,
Mhm.
you can go to where is it? BCW Supplies, BCW Direct, or BCW Supplies. Where else? Sometimes I find them in antique stores. If you find someone who's selling sleeves or coin rolls or top loaders or stuff for baseball, they may have one of these. But hold on.
Mark, did you have a question?
You can also use.
Well, I already know. Well, oh, okay.
You can use the Sterilite. I used to get them from Target. Walmart sells ones that have rounded corners.
Yeah.
That can damage your cards, but look for the Sterilite, and it has more of a square bottom.
That's the ones I'll buy.
Yeah, you can use these. They work really well. I just prefer the cardboard box because the cards like to slip and slide around in here. But I use these for storage. Nothing wrong with that at all. I've seen people use the eBay boxes, the free eBay boxes you get with your coupon. I've seen people use that. I've seen the XX.
So
Just whatever holds your postcards. If you only have, a small stack, you could put them in anything. But
Well, I think he's referring to the box of X, and then people are thinking that you have that many times that many in your listing. That's what he's saying.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Uses a number for his system. Go ahead, Mark.
Well, here we go again.
I have that.
What would be the top 5 postcards that would be the most popular? Halloween, we know, is one of them.
Yeah, I got to niche down. Just general categories. Halloween's is probably up there. Real photos of like towns. A real photo, it just the old time there would be old time people would have the box cameras.
Yeah.
And like they would travel around the states in a little horse-drawn wagon. In the back of the wagon, they'd have all their photo equipment. So they'd pull up to a small town and snap some photos, like the street view, the main street view, maybe the church or the high school. They'd go back to their wagon and they would develop and print all those real photo postcards. And then they'd go to like the local drugstore or stationery store, something like that, and they would sell them. I don't know, maybe a penny a card back then, and then they would sell to the town residents for maybe 2 pennies a card. So some of those smaller towns that you could see what it looked like in 1904, a real photo of it. Some of those can go into the thousands.
Wow.
Some of the international cards like Hong Kong, Singapore, if those cards are sold, like if they're sold and mailed from Singapore with the stamp, and maybe they're mailed to United States or China, and they have a whole bunch of different postal cancels. Some of those can get into the thousands of dollars. There's also artist signed cards. Artists, I don't think I have any right here, but artists do, maybe it was a painting or something like that, or maybe they just did it specifically for postcards. The old Art Nouveau painters like Alphonse Mucha, or Mucha, however you say his name. Some of his cards can go for several $100s. It's just really it's what people are willing to pay. And there's a website if people are interested. It's called valuablepostcards.blogspot.com. So if you search valuable and rare postcards, this guy puts out a monthly checklist of what sold over the past month on eBay. And when I was first starting out, I found this guy's blog, and I would go through and I would just study this list, what sells, and I would just kind of file it away in my little pea brain. And when I'm going to a postcard show, or I'm going to antique malls and I'm cherry picking the dealers there, I kind of have a good idea what sells and what sells for big money.
What was that website again?
It's valuable rare postcards. It's spelled out valuable postcards dot blogspot.com. I don't know if that'll show up. I'm almost afraid to click on a link and lose this. Oh, I don't want to click on it. I just got
I'm
some.
trying to find it.
I know that we were talking before the show.
Let me see.
Quality.
I'm sorry?
Quality.
Quality? Yeah.
I mean, of course, you want the perfect one, but
yeah. Here, I found it.
Mark, check your volume on your mic, please.
It's I have sold postcards that have been looks like someone just watered it up in a ball and then straightened it back up again, and it covered in dirt. And I've sold it for, I don't know, $20-$30 just because it was a rare view and that no one had seen before. I just had a bad copy of it. But the writing on the back of the card doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter if it's been sent. Some people prefer sent postcards. Not that there's a big, like a big counterfeit ring selling postcards, but I've seen postcards that have been made to deceive, to think that you're getting an old postcard, and it's not. Mm-hmm. But yeah, some people, like, this is a private mailing card, some of the first postcards. And people, like, there's the front view. It's Asbury Park, New Jersey. But some people prefer that this was postmarked in like 1902, or this one says 1920. That's late. Should be about. No, I'm sorry, that's 1900. So some people prefer the backs being postally used, and yes, there are some people who just want a pristine corner, or all the corners are square and stuff like that. They want a really nice copy.
All right, you have a question here from Stacy May. Do you do cabinet cards as well?
No, I have before, and usually what I do with those, if I'm buying a big lot of postcards, other stuff always comes with collections of postcards, and cabinet cards, Victorian trade cards, cigarette cards, stuff like that always comes with collections. And truthfully, what I do with those is on my Whatnot channel, on my Whatnot shows, when I get enough of them, or we're doing a raid train or something like that, I will lot those up and just kind of move them around. And the stereo view cards, I'm to the point now where if I cannot run it through my scanner, and I have a top load scanner that automatically does the front and the back of the postcard, and I can run through maybe 100 in a minute, something like that. If I can't scan it, I don't want to sell it. I can take pictures, and that's how I started. I just used a simple backdrop, and I would just prop my postcard on the little backdrop and had the old point and click cameras, and I would just take the front, flip it over, and take the back. I would do that at my over my lunch hour when I was working. So.
Kraken Fine says, I prefer them with the postage on the back. I like seeing the dates.
Right.
Michael says, we donated a postcard that was canceled through the York town post office in 1910
Mm.
to the Historical Society, it was not the postcard that was important, it was the canceled mark.
Yeah, the cancel, and then the messages. That was the some people didn't have telephones, and this was like the Twitter of the day. Some of the messages. It's almost mundane. I'm here and here. We're here for so long. We're visiting Aunt Sally. The weather's lovely, and Uncle Joe is sick. That's just how it was. Just normal chit chat.
The writing of the back in
Yeah.
the day.
Yeah, exactly. The Twitter of the day, or the Instagram post of the day is really.
So my next question is: whenever you are going through postcards, especially like at a estate sale or at a garage sale, when looking at things that are written on,
Mhm.
do we at least look and see like maybe the years they were posted, or even the stories that are written on the cards that might make more value on a card, or is it just somebody to collectors?
Personally, I'm looking at the front. Just there's two basic categories. It's a topic, and you figure what topic is something like birthdays, Christmas, bank buildings, gas stations. Those are topics. And then you have view cards, which are places. You can actually go stand in that location and view that place. Those are street views. A bank can be a view card, but it can also be a topic under banks. So I'm usually just looking at the front. I like to get beachy towns, the Jersey Shore and Outer Banks, North Carolina. Beach towns for me always seem to do really well. So I'm looking for small beach towns. I'm looking for interesting street views. Once I buy that, if I flip it over and the message jumps out at me, sometimes there'll be secret codes like written in just a weird code. Sometimes when I'm glancing, it happens a lot on like the real photos of people, like this, just a real photo of, I don't know, maybe dad and holding the kid, or maybe it's this is Harry Lash and Alice Lash, so whoever they are. But sometimes the message will be like uh, of a kid, and it's like there'll be this young kid. I don't know, little Joey died last night. So there'll be morbid messages on the back, and that will help sell the postcard sometimes.
Stacy also comes back with: do you keep ongoing correspondence from the same person together?
No, I don't. I'm a vulture. I'm gonna pull an album apart and sell the pieces.
That is a lost art, Michael.
Yeah, I know some people will be like, "Oh, you should keep the collection together." And yes, I understand that. And if that's the way you want to do it, you can do it. I will take out the pieces, parts, and sell them.
So, out of all the subject postcards you've ever done, because you have a large collection on your eBay store, which one or ones do the best for you? In an example, your planes, trains, cars, tractors, whatever. What is the biggest subject that sells the best for you on your postcards?
Yeah, the airplane cards, they're just a consistent seller. I don't have them listed. Like I said, I bought 1,000,000 of them. My cost per card is about a penny and a half per card, and that encompasses me flying out and renting a huge truck. So all in, I'm a penny and a half per card. Those, and I'm only listing them for $3 to $4. So it's low, but I'll list it once, and I have 500 behind it of the exact same card. So I'll never have to touch that listing again. So good, consistent sellers for me. I just sold a lighthouse for $150 a week or two ago. This morning, I had a street view from, I don't even know where it was off the top of my head. Maybe somewhere out in Illinois. It was like a horse buggy going down on a dirt road, and that sold for like 90 this morning.
So how big a truck did you have to get to
Yeah,
rent to get
whatever
Manic?
the 26 or 28-foot Penske truck or
Oh
Petsy or
Lord.
Pepsi. I hired a crew. It's amusing. It was right during the height of COVID. Um, I went to the wrong airport. I go through all that. Um, and just flying out, it was -4 degrees, I think, in Minneapolis, outskirts of Minneapolis,
Wow.
when we were loading a truck. I hired a crew of 4, and the guy I bought it from and myself were helping him. I think it took 4 to 6 hours to load that truck, and then I drove it. I think I drove into Indiana or Illinois that first night, and then just finished the rest of the trip the next day. And then it took me three full days to unpack it myself.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, but and
But
then
it was worth it.
yeah, it was worth it. I would probably do it again, but I still have that's 3 years ago, and I still have, like I said, 400,000 of those cards just unlisted. They just sit there mocking me because it's money. It's just money just sitting in a box. The death pile, I can put other people's death piles to shame.
Now, about 3 weeks ago, you did sell that one postcard with the lighthouse, and that was over $100.
That was a
And you
hundred.
know about how long does that usually take you to sell on a typical base?
That one sold overnight or almost immediately. But I have postcards from my old inventory number that have been listed for coming up on 15 years. And I sell one of those, two of those, three of those every week.
Now, do you ever go in and tweak those type of listings that you've had for that long, or you just leave them?
Usually what I do is when you get the offers, you have, I don't know, people, I'm not so offers, you have people watching and you can, there's send offers available.
Yeah.
Though, and I have maybe usually about 20 or 30 a day I can send. I've gotten away from this, but what I would do is if it was one of these old postcards, and the pictures are horrible compared to running them through a scanner,
Mhm.
I would pull the card out, and I have a scanner right here. I would run it through the scanner, refresh the picture, um, and then send out the offer. And since they're so old, I'd send out like a 40% offer just to get rid of
Right.
it.
Yeah.
But I don't really don't tweak anything. I'll once in a while I may raise and lower the price to see if that
Triggers it.
tricks the algorithm. I do since I have I'm allowed to have like 60,000 listings in the postcard category.
Mhm.
So once I'll keep some wiggle room in there, but every month I'll do an end and relist on like 10,000 of my items, and just to get that refresh
Right.
on those.
Yeah, if you watched his video about 3 weeks ago, he had one that I watched, happened to watch it, and it went up for over $100, and I forgot what the total was
Yeah, I
of a lighthouse.
I've yet to have one of those auctions that go into the thousands. I haven't. I have a good eye, but I just haven't been lucky to have that.
Stacy would like to know: do you have a damaged pile that you sell in a batch?
I do. Crafters, I saw. Yeah, I was just talking about that. I guess during the pre-show that
Yeah.
I use the crafting people are going to cringe. I used to throw damaged postcards away. I mean, it could be a gorgeous Santa, but like half the corners missing, and I would chuck it in the trash can. Then I started recycling them, and then once I started on Whatnot, and I had a postcard that had the old like
Like
not
tape,
Vaseline tape, the old Scotch
Scotch
tape,
tape.
and it was yellowed and it just peeled right off. And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll just throw that away." And they went ballistic on me, saying, "You do not throw that away." Exactly, great for junk journaling. So I started to keep a big, like, well, pretty much a trash bin by my desk as I'm processing cards. And if it's just too damaged for me, I'll just chuck it into that bin. And then on my Whatnot shows, I'll sell those by the pound.
And how often do you do your Whatnot shows? Because Jennifer did drop your Whatnot page.
Yes, Whatnot. I used to do 2 to 3 shows a week, and then I'm down to once Saturdays. I used to do Saturdays and Tuesdays, and now I'm just on Saturdays. And then every once in a while they have a special raid train, and I'll do that. Whatnot. Oh my goodness. I was the first postcard seller on Whatnot 3.5 years ago.
Oh wow.
And I'm not bragging. I'm just relaying. I'm very free with my numbers.
Yeah.
My first year I did $100,000 on Whatnot. And then
Wow.
my typical back then it was like I can only do one thing great at one time. And so before that I was doing eBay, all eBay, and I'd be up to
Mhm.
about 65 to 75,000 a year selling postcards on eBay. Whatnot came along and I was doing 100,000 a year. And that was my first year. Second year, I put all my effort into Whatnot, and I did 120, I think, the second year. And but my eBay went down to like 30,000 a year. So I'm trying to find that happy medium, and I think this year is going to be one of the first years. So I'm going to be mid 50s, high 50s on eBay, and then probably about the same, maybe a little bit more over on Whatnot. Whatnot, I bulk out. I sell postcards by the pound, or I'll do fill a medium flat rate box, and there'll be about 1,200 to 1,500 cards in a flat rate.
No, I believe that's on one website.
Yeah,
Crystal, you can answer this.
yeah, 100,000 on Whatnot, and then usually 40 to 50, sometimes 60 on eBay. But right now, this year's been a little off, but yeah, I'll be around 110 at the end of the year.
Actually, I think they answered that, which he's going to answer. I believe he was saying he does it on Whatnot when he does his Whatnot shows.
Yeah, so I sell single cards on eBay, and I sell bulk on Whatnot. It's just at one time I had, including the airplane cards, I had about 1.5 million postcards in the house, and I needed to get
Wow.
rid of some of those. So I'm probably down.
If you go right above it, you'll see his Whatnot, so you can make sure you're following him for his shows.
So I'm probably down to 1.2, 1.3 million in because I keep buying. I keep buying out lots of 40, 50,000 postcards, and I'll go through them and I'll pick out what I want to sell, and the rest goes to Whatnot in bulk. Postcards
Doesn't do
can be
Whatnot.
very, very profitable. I'm like, truthfully, on eBay, I'm kind of small potatoes. There's one guy, I've got to know him over the years. He goes by Mike in Greensboro. He's pretty much sold about 1 million postcards on eBay, and he brings in 250 to 300,000 a year on eBay selling postcards.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, postcards are not going to be for everybody, and I've always
No.
said this over the last 10 years or so. It's not for everybody, and to do the amount of sales that I have, you have to have a lot of postcards listed. Even with 44,000 items, there are days I may only sell one postcard, and it might be $5. But then the next day, I might sell $600 worth. What I would stress about postcards is if you're at an estate sale, you're a closed seller, you're a glass seller, you sell everything but postcards. But if you're at an estate sale and there's a stack of postcards for $5 and there's 50 postcards in there, you can't go wrong for 10 cents a card. And
That's true.
do your research, look at sold comps on eBay, the Terapeak. If you have WorthPoint, do that. What we're seeing a lot in the postcard world now is like a race to the bottom. And it's people who maybe they don't know about postcards, or maybe they're just they just want to get rid of them and throw, they want the slow nickel. I'm sorry, the fast nickel, slow dime, or however that works.
Right.
They just want to get it and get rid of it. But when I'm comping cards, like this card, for example, this card may have just sold. Someone may have just sold that card for $3, but during my comping, it sells for $50, and they just left $47 on the table.
Right.
So, and we also, there's a lot of like AI listers now people, I'm not smart enough to do this, but they just use how I scan. I can scan 100 cards in a minute or so. These people are smart where they've figured that they can, from the scanner, whatever program they run it through AI to figure out the optical character reading, what the postcard says, have the AI analyze the image, create the title and put the item specifics, and then right up to eBay. And they're listing, I don't know, like 10,000 postcards a week type of thing. But
My first question for you on your scanning. I know several other postcard people that I watch through YouTube. They basically use a scanner and scan everything. Now, are you putting these in individual files like on a hard drive? Or how are you keeping track of all these when you're uploading them to whatever platform you upload them to?
yeah, like just for all the postcards I bought at the York Postcard Show, I've already scanned them. I scan them into one file on my computer and I name it. Like I have like November 2025 subfolder 1122 York, PA. And then when I'm ready to list, I'll go into that folder and I use a listing software called 6-bit. And I just work on the listings. I'll just have the picture on one screen, the 6-bit program on the other, and I'm just typing in. For me, and using 6-bit, I usually have them all sorted. Like I'll have California sorted out, and I'll have 50 California, and I'll just start listing California. And on 6-bit, the only thing I have to change is the title and the picture. As long as I'm in like the California category, yeah, just a picture and the title, and I can list about 100 postcards an hour doing
Wow.
that. Now that's with no research. If I
Right.
want to research a card, that adds about 30 seconds because I'll have eBay solds up and I'll have worth point up just to get an idea where this card may fall in. But if I don't want to do any research, I may list them all for $14.95 and just let them whirl. And then as I'm going through, I'll delete those, like the 50 I just uploaded for box AB tab 1. I'll delete those 50 photos, and once it's uploaded, and then I'll just keep going till I'm done with that folder of pictures.
Mark, do you have a question?
Nope.
Okay, I just don't want to make sure I'm not going to cut you off. So I have a question, and I'm not sure if you could better answer this because in case if somebody hasn't watched that video, you were doing about a couple of weeks ago, you doing a trial on auctioning a lot of different postcards. Have you ended that, and what are the results if you have?
Yeah, I did. I used to be all auctions because for me with a premium store, I get 500 free auctions
Mhm.
a month, and I very rarely use them. I used to auction everything because sometimes you just don't know
Right.
what if it's going to be one of those ones that takes off. But this one I did 300 auctions, 305, all Pennsylvania except for 5 that were from the Philippine Islands and had some interesting postal cancels on them. Like the 300 all Pennsylvania, I started at auction for $14.95, and then I did Sunday, and absolutely none of those had an extra bidder.
Okay.
So they all sold for $14.95, and I think I only sold maybe 15, maybe 20 at auction. But there are probably some cards that sold for $14.95 that they could have probably purchased that same card for $3 on eBay, but they bought it from me at auction for $14.95. But on the flip side, yes, there were probably some cards in there that were $30 to $45, maybe $50 that I only got $14.95. So I need to keep doing auctions. I don't just need to do them more, but maybe be more picky on what cards. If there's a known 10 of those cards sold over the last year and they all sold for $15, I'm probably not going to get more than $15 on an auction.
Right.
But if there's those cards that it's a one-off and I can't find a good comp and
Mhm.
and that city sells very well, I will never start an auction at 99 cents. I usually tell people start an auction at what you would be happy with if you only got the one bidder.
Right.
And
When I first started eBay in 2019,
yeah, yeah,
valuable lessons there.
yeah. I
Yeah.
used to start everything at $1.99. In fact, when I used to have an email $1.99 guy,
Uh-huh.
and I got away from that because it didn't happen to me, but I was bidding on a lot of it was like 6 or 7, 8 boxes on eBay, and the dude started it at 99 cents. It ended at 99 cents. And I mean the shipping was $60, but I got 4 or 5,000 postcards all in for like $65 because they
Wow.
99-cent auctions. There's people in the postcard world, they start auctions at a penny with free shipping.
Oh,
I don't know how it's personally, I don't judge people's business models, but that's a horrible business model.
yeah. That is
Um,
crazy.
but they're putting up 2,000 auctions like a week.
Oh, wow.
So after about three, say if all of those sold after about 300, when the bid starts going up to a nickel and a quarter, they start breaking even around 400 postcards sold, and then they will have some postcards that are, sold for $100. So in the long run, it might even out, but that's a lot of work on those first 500 cards for no return.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So my next question for you is, in our community, we have a lot of people who buy postcards. I'm not sure if they're all buying them for maybe crafting or journaling or whatever the case may be. But for example, say somebody's just starting out and getting interested in postcards.
Mhm.
What would be some of the tips you would give them when they're going out sourcing of when should they pick them up and when should they leave them alone?
Well, there are definitely some cards that you just don't buy. And I have for as long as I've been on YouTube and talking about postcards, I always made fun that you don't buy Niagara Falls postcards. Just because I've sold Niagara Falls postcards
Mhm.
before. It's just because they're not a fast seller and they don't sell for a lot. There are
Right.
some, and there's going to be exceptions to every rule. Pretty much if it's a big tourist attraction that everybody has been to, may not buy it. Mount Vernon, Virginia. That's not very good. Valley
Mhm.
Forge, Pennsylvania, not that good. Definitely Niagara Falls, not that good. And each state kind of has like their own version of Niagara Falls
Mhm.
that everybody went to. So those, and that's just me. People have sold them and have done very well for them with them. But if you're in an antique mall and you're going through a stack, um, heavily damaged cards, like I've seen cards with it's like the whole corner's missing, and they're
Mhm.
still asking $2 for it,
Yeah.
and those usually don't sell. I wouldn't buy those unless it's a rare view. But this might be like a pretty flower in the desert, generic views like that. I don't know, the ocean waves, and that's all it is. Or I always come back to like the cactus in the desert.
Yeah.
No one really wants those. But on the flip side, I have seen some of those mass listers get $14 for a pretty rose desert type of thing. Sometimes I can't fathom how why and how stuff is sold for what it's sold. But I would look for street views. Because you figure these are from the 40s or so, maybe even a lot earlier. Those places don't exist anymore, or they're just so built up. I like beachy towns because if you're on a coast, a lot of people go to the coasts for vacation, and usually about this time and then the spring when they're leaving the beach or they're getting ready to go to the beach is usually when I do really well with the beach towns.
Mhm.
Ocean City, New Jersey, Ocean City, Maryland, stuff like that. Big,
Love the
big,
Mississippi.
yeah. I do really well with Mississippi cards. For personally, I kind of stay away from New England towns, New England states, Vermont, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Maine. Those to me, I don't do well, and it's just I have nothing against those places. as a pure business person trying to sell postcards, I've not had real good luck with those places.
Not even at Salem's of Mass?
Salem, Mass, like the Witch House, the
Mhm.
House of the Seven Gables.
Mhm.
Oh, well, who's the famous author from Wit? I can't. But there's a famous author from there in his house.
Walt Whitman.
There's 4 billion of those postcards out
Yeah.
there, and there are 500,000 listed. Everybody's trying to sell them for $2.99, and they just don't sell.
Yeah.
Again, you're going to have the exception to every rule.
Right.
But when I'm looking, and again, I've gone through millions and millions and millions of postcards, and for some reason, again, the little pea brain, I can't remember yesterday, but I can remember that I had and sold this postcard 15 years ago, or I know that out of all the I pick up Disneyland. There were a lot of Disneyland postcards, and I've sold a lot, and I know all the common ones. And so when I'm going through Disneyland postcards, if it doesn't look right, if it's not a common. So I kind of look for uncommon things. Just this weekend, I was looking through a stack of postcards, and it was the 1939 New York World's Fair. And I see these all the time, very cool Art Deco buildings. And I came across the statue, and I'd never seen this card before. Bought it for $1, and I think I'll be able to sell it for about 150, just because it's just a rare card from the New York World's Fair.
Right.
So, yeah, again, postcards aren't for everybody, but just pick up a stack and try it. Like this is when this box is full, that's 1,200 postcards. So, and at say my average sell price is about $12. I can't math very well, but whatever $12 times 1,200 is,
Right.
it's a lot of money. I just went over $1 million, and again, it doesn't mean much, but the value of all my store is over $1 million in postcards.
So when we think about, like, I know I do see very seldomly World's Fair postcards.
Mm-hmm.
Is that something that maybe a specific World's Fair is more valuable than a particular of another one?
Yeah, the postcards kind of got started. We never did really talk about history. I cover it just real quick. I'll do a shameless little plug.
Mm-hmm.
I do a YouTube membership, and under that membership, I did a 24-part guide. Pretty much, it's still my business model. I teach you how to do this, and it's $4.99 a month. You could probably binge all of my stuff for $4.99 and then cancel. But I think I make the first 2 or 3 parts of that guide free. But so I talk about the history of postcards and stuff like that. But the 1893 Columbia Exposition, that's pretty much where like the first color postcards came from. And some of those can go, the market has softened on those. Those appeal to the postcard collector and to the postal history people, the back of the card. Some of those cards can go 20, 30, $40. You got the 1900 Paris can do pretty well. 1904 St. Louis, those are okay. 1907 Jamestown Expo. I've some of those cards can go for, again, it depends on like the rarity.
Mm-hmm.
Can go for 100 plus. But once you get into the Chicago 33, 34, only certain views from that World's Fair can do well. And then again, 39 New York. But once you get into the newer 64, 65 New York, 67 or 69 Montreal, and once you get into those, and then the one in Tennessee, Knoxville, and then like St. Louis I can't remember when that was, 94 maybe. Some of those those are maybe $4 or $5 cards. So I don't know if that answered your question.
Mm-hmm.
But
Christine has a good question, because I'm thinking about this too. She's always seeing a ton of Arizona and Route 66 cards. Always makes her think they are worthless.
Yeah, some can, and I still pick up Route 66 cards. It used to be on, I keep a BOLO list, and one of them is like Route 66. The market is kind of softened with that. When I did this guide, I did it for another channel, and it was back in 2017. There were 3.2 million postcards on eBay. And here we are 8 years later, and there are over 14 million postcards on eBay. So a lot more people are finding those Route 66 postcards and putting them online on eBay. So some of the newer ones, the 1950s Chrome era cards, pretty much think a Walmart snapshot type of
Okay.
thing. That's a Chrome era from 1950s or so. Some of those you might still get 10 to 15 bucks for them. What you want to look for in Route 66, if you come across a real photo, and I also got to say, one of my pet peeves is they are real photo postcards. The
Mhm.
never real picture postcards. So it's photo, not picture. It may be a
Right.
picture, but it's a photo. But some of the roadside gas stations, trading posts, restaurants that are in real photo type format, some of those can still go over $100, but they have to be rare.
Right. Now, my next question has to do with, I see this a lot, especially when I was traveling and going overseas and in the Navy. I used to buy these and send to my mom all the time. What is the difference in value when it comes to saying a postcard compared to a postcard folder that
Oh yeah.
rolls and folds out? Would you have like an accordion?
Yep. I probably have some around here. Normally, I would avoid the folders. Uh, just because, well, for a seller, they're kind of difficult to photograph. I figured out a way to do it,
Mhm.
to run it through the scanner, and it works out really well. I talk about that on my membership channel, but normally I avoid those unless it's really that I haven't seen it. Again, there's thousands of them, and I've seen a lot of them. And I actually bought one this weekend. Paid probably $10 for it, and it was of a miniature golf course in New Hampshire. And I can't find any comps for this. I'll probably list it between 75 to 100 and some odd dollars. But it's the best ones are those folders. I mean, if you're going to get one, it might be all desert flowers and desert
Mhm.
cactuses. Ugh. But it might be a very, very small town that maybe only has 1,000 people, and there were only 50 of those made. But you may get one like, I don't know, Hollywood Walk of Fame, and there were thousands and thousands of those made. So
Mhm.
they're
In other
out
words,
there.
do your comps and do your research.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't. Yeah, I just for those, I have a whole box of them, and I know they're probably $20 to $50 each, just because of they're very uncommon. But
Mhm.
it's kind of a pain in the butt to list them.
Right.
But I have to be in the mood, and a couple months ago, I was in the mood, and I think I did 20 of them, and was selling them for $20 to $50.
Yeah, because don't they typically have anywhere from 10 to 12 postcards folded in them?
Yeah, yeah, and yeah, there's some may only be 6 to 8, but yeah, some may have front and back a total of 20 views. And that's another thing to avoid. If you're in an antique mall, I've seen people have cut those individual views out. They're really not a postcard at that point. They were
Right.
part of a postcard folder. Now they're just a lithograph print. And yeah, I've seen people try to sell them for several bucks, and no, maybe for the crafter, maybe if someone
So,
stumbles upon it for a view that from their childhood and they remember, but no, not as a reseller, from a reseller point of view.
all right. Stacey May has another question. Are there postcards of the murder castle from the 1893 World's Fair?
That I don't know. I'm not familiar with the murder castle, and unless there was some murders happening at the World's Fair, that I'm not aware of. I'm not familiar with the murder castle. But
Never heard of it.
with postcards, I've gotten really good at Jeopardy questions for usually geography and stuff like that. Because I've seen it on a postcard and I've remembered it. The Holmes mass murder. No, I'm not familiar with that one.
H.H. Holmes mass murder. Never heard of it.
I haven't either.
So if any of you have questions in reference to postcards, this is where we're going to ask them and get them answered for you as much as we can. And if you have any questions in having to do with should you buy certain types of postcards or not, ask them away. That's what we're here for. John also does his membership on his channel where he does more with the members when it comes to like history and stuff like that. So definitely check that out. Any other tips you would want to give someone who has never done postcards or is thinking about getting into postcards?
Just again, if you want to switch, and I've had people switch. It's like, oh, I'm all in on clothing, but then I see that, there's $10,000 worth of value in this one little box. And I've seen that they have a whole warehouse full of huge, big items. I would just say that you're going to have to get like a daily money coming in consistently. You probably have to have about 2,000 to 3,000 postcards listed. And if you're just starting out, that can be a lot of time invested. But once you get used to listing, like I said, you can do about 100 an hour. At least I can. With no research, you don't have to do research. You should. But so sales aren't going to be consistent until you're 2,000 in. Good thing is they don't take up hardly any room. You're not going to get returns on them. And if they stink of cigarettes, you can get that smell out by like using an ozone generator or rubbing them with dryer sheets, something like that. Let me see what else. So the postcard people. I mean, we get some nutty people, buyers wise. But for the most part, postcard buyers are pretty civil people, and you run across some that you wonder how they've been on eBay for as long as they've been buying on eBay. But that's very few and far between. The postcard world, it's calmer. There's competition, but I don't have to worry about, like, I'm not selling jeans and shoes or sports cards. Oh my goodness, sports cards that the condition has to be pristine, and people, well, because they're going to send that card in to get graded, probably, and we don't have to worry about grading in the postcard world. I've seen it, and it's usually all for sports, but you don't have to worry about that. So I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, and also I have another question in reference to, do you rather, and I'm sure you did both and you kind of have your idea already, would you prefer when somebody's starting to do postcards, out of your experience, is scanning them in? Because I noticed on a lot of your listings, you only have the front and back and maybe a third picture.
All right.
Or should they take and use a camera of some kind, whether it be their phone or a camera, which would be better to do and faster?
If you are gonna do mass quantities, get a scanner, because again, I can scan a stack of 100 postcards in a minute. It's going to be much clearer, and you see all the corners. The lighting, I don't do any type of photo manipulation because the scanner just spits it out pretty true to life. If anything, the scans are just a tad darker than what the card is in real person. I started off the first 10 plus 12 years, I just took pictures, and that works perfectly fine. Don't use I used to use weird colored backgrounds. Just use a white or eBay likes white. Hi Barbara. Sometimes I use a black background. But yeah, you can absolutely use your phone. It's just when you get into mass quantity, you got to step it up to a scanner. So
Michael says, I can list about 100 comics per night. I would think postcards would be even easier than that. And you're right about that.
Yeah, I can just over the summer. I did five. My best over a very long day was 500, and I did 500 in about 6 hours over the summer, something along those lines. They're already scanned. Again, it takes some prep.
Right.
All the cards were in. I sorted them by state or all Christmas, all Valentine, whatever. So when I did my 50 or 100 California, then I moved on to Colorado, and maybe there's only 25. So I just have to change in 6-bit. I just have to change like the store category from whatever state I'm going to, and then I only have to change under the eBay. There's eBay has topographical and non-topographical. I can stay in topographical, which is places.
Mm-hmm.
I can stay in topographical category and then just change the state, all day. I don't have to change that category until I get into holidays or military.
Bulk is the best way to go when you're doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anybody else who may have questions, please go ahead and ask. I don't want to keep John too much longer because I really appreciate John giving us his time to come in and answer these questions. I've been knowing John for quite a while, and it's amazing on what he's sold, all his videos, amazing on what he's got in his listings, and it's amazing to see what is selling and what is he getting them for. It's always an interesting thing.
Yeah, I started saving my what sold videos for members just because I only show the cards that sold for 10 or more dollars, but then I'll talk about them. And it's like, why did it sell for $10 or why did it sell for 150? And I just talk and they're bolo lists. So, cause I'm now in competition with all the postcard sellers. Like if I go to a postcard show, someone wanted me to share my shopping list before I went to the postcard show. I was like, I'm going to hold that to the vest right now because I have certain categories that I want to get to because I know they sell well. And then, but then it'll be up tomorrow. The next day, I go over every one of the 386 postcards I sold or I bought at York, and I talk about them and I show each and every one of them and think, this is why I bought it. This is what I paid. This is what I kind of expect to get. So I share that with the members, and everybody else will just kind of get just a brief. I call it road tripping and postcard picking, and it's me going to an antique mall or going to a show and just kind of do little hits like show the show. There we go. So.
Thank you, John. This has been very interesting.
Oh,
and it'll give me something to, instead of just passing them up, going, oh.
Yeah, you could easily find a $1,500 postcard. It could happen. There was another channel that did postcards. They're not doing it anymore, but they didn't know. They showed an album that they had bought, and it was a Whole Delight Patriotic Santa. He just bought it in the whole album, didn't know what it was. People told him what it was later, and it sold for, it was either $1,500 or $1,900, and he probably paid 50 to 80 cents for it when you consider everything in that whole album.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah. The return on investment, I can buy them for like a nickel when you take the whole thing together, like the 900 or 9,000 cards, that came out to be about 4 or 5 cents. There could be a card in there that will sell for $50, and that's thousands and thousands of percentage return on investment with postcards.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not getting into, and you don't want to do it right away, and you don't want to spend all that time and energy and money into buying large quantities of them, like somebody would with baseball cards or football cards or whatever. Even if you were to catch them, like I catch these, like a Ziploc bag full or a small box full or something in a state sale or garage sale, I'll pick them up for under $1, sometimes 50 cents. And you can get yourself some money back into that just by even maybe selling one of the cards out of it.
Exactly.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely do it. What is the top seller baseball card? We're not talking about baseball cards. We're talking about postcards tonight, Jeffrey.
I mean, it's Honus Wagner. I mean, I
Yeah,
can at least answer that. I know that
yeah,
part, but there are Honus Wagner postcards that have sold well. There's Babe Ruth postcards, and those are the usually
yeah,
ones that people will send off for grading, but
yeah.
we don't grade postcards.
No, but a lot of times most people send those in because they may have something that's going to be worth more when they grade it,
Right.
because it costs us to send them in to get graded.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah, I would love to have somebody with baseball cards or any type of sports cards to come and join us. And I have somebody in mind for that. I just got to reach out to him and see if he's available. But that'd be a whole nother show.
Yeah.
We do this Monday night wind down every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Next Monday, we do not have a guest as of yet, but you never know, that can change.
Yeah. I got a
Um,
suggestion. I'm sorry. I know you're probably getting ready to end. Have you ever heard of the $1 Million Peddlers? They're,
yes,
yeah.
you
Dave.
talked about them on one of your videos.
Yeah. They've interviewed me. I've interviewed them. They would be a good get, the $1 Million Peddlers, and he's big into ephemera.
Yeah, we have a lot of ephemeras in our
So
community.
I'm sure he would be more than willing to come on your show. I
And it
don't
was
want to speak.
$1 million what?
$1 Million Peddlers. They do a live. I think every Thursday night they do a live.
I gotta check them out because I heard you talk about them.
Yeah, they're good guys. And he knows so much about paper. He goes by Paper Goy, but he knows. And his sidekick, Mr. Magazine, they sell, the magazines from whatever magazine from the 80s and earlier, and so they're big into that.
I'll have to reach out to them.
Yeah, I'll shoot them
Cool.
they're on a Discord that I belong to, so
Okay.
I'll shoot them a message.
Yeah,
And
that'd be great.
yeah, I'll play matchmaker here.
There we go. And again, we would love to have anybody on. So if you have any particular topic you are interested in, or you know somebody who would be able to do this type of topic with us, let us know. Let myself or Mark know. We'll be glad to have them in. Memphis is Blazer. Hello, good afternoon, and
Memphis
welcome.
Blazer. Yeah, they're on Wednesday nights at 7:30. I guess that's Eastern.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah.
And
Memphis Blazer, I
Barbara,
know
thank you for
Steve.
being here too. She said the same thing. 7:30 on Wednesday nights.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Good guys. I'll shoot them a message and let them know that that'd be I think they'd be a good fit for your show.
That'd be great. Now, another thing too, I remember. I don't know if you remember Jimmy to Flip It.
Yeah, Jiminy Flip It. Yeah.
He used to be on twice a week, and he would do postcards and ephemera and magazines and advertisement. I was thinking about him, and Robert and I were talking about him down there. He says, "Yeah, he's supposed to be coming back on videos." It's like, well, I haven't seen him yet. So,
Yeah, I saw him a couple weeks ago. He came back and did a live show. He'd be interesting to talk to about. He does like the Beatles band type of thing. Goes all around, does Beatles, but he does magazine ads is his thing.
yes, I used to
Yeah.
watch him where he would
Yeah.
scan in and he would tell you why he would do this advertisement, how he does it, how he crops it, and the basic information he puts in the listing.
Yep.
It's amazing. He does the same thing like you do: scan it, list it, and done.
Exactly. Easy.
It's amazing at what people are paying for on advertisement.
I call them stupid little pieces of paper, and it's
Yeah.
amazing what people are willing to pay for them.
But you got to remember too, sometimes that little bit of paper can be somebody else's journal booking or journal crafting too.
Yeah. Or childhood memory, or I've had people say, buy a postcard, and it's like, that is my uncle in that picture,
Right.
or my great grandmother ran that motel type of thing. So
It's
yeah,
amazing.
memories. People are willing to pay for memories.
That's right. That's right. So we're going to go ahead and end the show. Thank you so much, John, for coming in. And don't forget, he's got
Thank you,
Whatnot.
Thank
He
you.
has his own
John.
channel. He has his eBay store. Those items, I'm gonna have to add your Whatnot into the. I need to open it so I can
Appreciate
add
that.
your Whatnot to the description bar. If you go down in the description bar below and you happen to come back and rewatch the video, John's information is in the description bar below, including his YouTube channel, his eBay store, and I'm about ready to click on that link so I can get his Whatnot and add it to the link at the bottom. But before we do end the show, John, tell everybody about yourself, your channel, and promote yourself.
Oh, thank you, Johnny. Thank you again for having me. I followed
Thank you for
Johnny
being here.
for years now. I don't always get to jump on, but I do pretty much a morning ramblings talking about postcards, pulling orders, I have a membership. If you want to steal my business model, it's $4.99 a month. You binge everything, and then you can cancel, and then maybe come back in a couple months and see what else I posted up there. Whatnot every Saturday. If you want to buy bulk postcards, you can see me on there. And of course, eBay. I'm Popeye's Postcards against all across all social media, so you can find me pretty much anywhere.
All right. And Jennifer's been dropping your chat, your link, your channel, your whatnot, eBay store. So definitely check those out. Jennifer's already dropped that other one, and I believe I already have that channel open. Let me make sure. Yeah, Yeah, I have that one open already. Mark, is there anything you would like to add to the before we end the show today?
I'm joining the channel so I can get some information.
Make sure you cancel as soon as you watch. I can't stress that enough. Watch it and cancel.
I love it. And cancel.
And if I decide to disappear again, I let people know probably about a month and a half. It's like, I'm getting tired of this again. And so I let people make sure they shouldn't be subscribed or members anyway, but I give them ample time when I'm getting to the end of, I need another break. So,
Right.
yeah. Oh,
All right,
yeah.
so I have your link open to add your whatnot into
Jennifer, I was doing the postcard profit on TikTok. It was just a weird little side thing. I've stopped that already. I was reading the back of the postcards and making little comments about it. So I don't do that anymore. Don't worry about TikTok.
Thank you, Barbara, for coming in as well. And Memphis Blazer, thank you for coming in as well. Don't forget, we do our morning shows. Mark and I do a morning show Monday through Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's called the Morning Boost. Mark and I also do this one, the Monday Wind Down. Is just a way of us relaxing and trying to get guests on here and just have a good time.
Learning something new.
That's right. And that's what it's all about.
I'm still learning. I learned stuff this weekend that I didn't know.
Yes, exactly, Jennifer.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Great information. And thank y'all for coming in. Again, if you have anybody else in mind that you would like to see as a guest, let us know. We would definitely go ahead and reach out to them if we can and get them on here. And again, don't forget, tomorrow, Mark, you and Janice have the Friends Selling with Friends tomorrow, correct?
Yes, we do. Starting at 1:30. Well, we start at 1, but it starts at 1:30. And we will go till about 7.
And that's Eastern and Central.
I was saying Eastern, giving you Eastern times because we start at noon Central, real people time.
And where are you going to be on Wednesday?
I should be with Janice. I haven't checked with her. I'm not sure whether we were going to take the day off because it was the day before Thanksgiving or not.
Jennifer dropped the link this morning in the morning show.
Well, you know Janice. And then Wednesday night, Denise and Michael will be doing their show on Two Old Guys.
Also, Mia's going on at
Margie.
Yeah, it's true. Mia's auction at 6:00. There's the link. Don't forget to set your reminder. And again, don't forget, we're back here again tomorrow morning at 8:30. Friday will be our Would You Buy It or Would You Leave It? And then, of course, Thursdays, we just do the morning show with Q&A and open panel. So as I say before I end each and every show, again, thank you so much, John, for coming on and joining us.
Really, this has been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Yes. And I'm glad you jumped into the morning show one day, and I was like, okay, he's the one I want for postcards.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you again.
Because I've been watching your channel. I'm keeping an eye on, and I love following, and I am following your eBay store. Yeah. So, yeah. Yes, okay, Jeffrey. Yeah.
I appreciate
it. So thank you so much for taking the time out and being on the channel with us. Again, if you have any questions, make sure you follow him on his YouTube channel. Yep. And he's got his membership information. You can learn things and go from there. It's amazing. Check out his eBay store. That's all I'm saying. And his whatnot auctions. So as I say before I end each and every show, love always. Love is always free. Please be kind to one another till we meet into another chat. Have a blessed and fabulous day. And until we meet again, later. Peace out. And y'all come back now.
Bye,
you hear?
Y'all.
Bye.
You make me an offer and I'll take it. You got the dollars, go see Johnny, he's got it all. Let him have it with no problem, see the special man.
See the special man.
You got the dollars, make me an offer. New England Cajun roots, Johnny under